Hey y'all, this is Leslie. I have a quick word, a vision, and a word that I want to share with you. I think it was 2 days ago, so I guess it must have been May 29th, 2023, where I had a vision of a spider. And when I say spider, I mean like unbelievably large spider. Like you would not expect to ever see a spider of this size in real life, okay? Think of the movie, it's a King Kong movie, and I believe it's called Skull Island, and I believe that's where King Kong lived, and all of the other animals and insects there were extremely large. I mean like colossal, ginormous, gargantuan, just like you have never, whatever the largest spider you've ever seen, think of it times 1,000, times 10,000. I don't know, it was just huge. Think like King Kong, okay? Big like that, okay? And so I saw this spider and I knew that it was being forged. That's the word that I heard, forged, which means like built, created, made, in the belly or the bowels, if you will, of earth, okay? This, get over, sir. Come on, I need you to drive, sir. Okay, sorry. This thing was being birthed in the belly of the earth, okay? In darkness, shrouded in darkness. I feel like this thing was literally next to hell, okay? And I know that it was hell that was doing this. I guess y'all... Oh my gosh, what are you doing? I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot with these people today. These people don't want to drive on today, and I got somewhere I got to be, okay? Okay, so this spider was being forged, built, created in the belly of the earth next to hell, okay? Hell was in charge of hell had done this thing, okay? Hell birthed this atrocity. That's what I hear, okay? And so the plan of hell was to bring this spider to earth to kill and destroy the people of God, okay? So I knew that this spider had been nourished by hell. It did not start off as big as it ended up being, okay? I don't know what it was being fed. I don't know what was going on. All I know that it was being continuously fed and nourished, something pumped into it, evil, so that it would grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. So finally, when it reached full maturation, it was released to come up onto the earth. And so what it was supposed to do was it was supposed to be released in an old part of a subway. If you've ever seen a subway, and I really believe it was like in a metropolitan area, sort of like a New York City type of thing, right? Because areas like that are extremely dense or extremely populated, right? There's a very large population in areas like this, and hell is not just going to release something like this. Oh, and I even feel like the Lord is saying it's like a time release curse. Hell is not going to release something like that into a little rural rural area where it's not going to do a lot of damage. This spider was homegrown from hell to do as a weapon of mass destruction, to do much destruction, to kill as many people as possible, okay? You understand what I'm saying? And so it was supposed to come up through an old part of the subway. It would not have been seen when it came up because this part of the subway was not being used anymore. It was very old. And then it would have came out, made its way up, and completely terrorized and wreaked havoc, okay? However, once it finally reached the entry, if you will, entry point of the subway, where it was supposed to be released from, it was so big that it literally fell back down to the pit, if you will, that it was created in, and it died. It was so big that when it put its those legs, child, when it put those legs out to lift itself up out of the hole, the area that it was supposed to come out of was so old that the ground began to break. It could not sustain the weight of this big old spider, and so it fell back down. And what the Lord was impressing upon me was that hell is so zealous that it doesn't even pay attention to what's really important, or what's hell misses steps. Okay, hell is not as smart. Hell and the enemy are not as smart as they think they are, right? The agenda of this weapon of mass destruction was just to make it as big and as terrorizing and as taunting as possible, to make it so big that, much like King Kong, it would be very difficult for our army or military, you know what I'm saying, those type of organizations, I can't think of the right word, but those type of organizations, to really be able to combat this thing. Okay, and so but to its own demise, to its own, hell messed up. Hell lost again. That's all I can think of. Hell lost again. You went overboard. As usual, hell goes to the extreme, and it made the spider so big that it couldn't even, that the ground where it was supposed to be able to come up out of couldn't even support its weight, and so it fell. So that weapon, and of course I thought, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. The weapon didn't even get to prosper. The weapon didn't even get to do any of what it was supposed to do, any of what it was created for. It was like failed launch. That's what I hear. Failed launch. Like it didn't even get to affect anything or anybody. It was created and it ended up killing its own self. And it made me think about Haman, to be honest with you, because Haman had a plan and he had a plot and an agenda to kill the Jews, and the very gallows that he had erected for Mordecai was where he himself was hanged. Like, the very plan and plot that hell has erected, the very evil that you have erected, is going to be your own demise. Okay, so I don't know what hell has erected against you, against your family, against your generation, whatever it may be, against us as a people, the people of God. But it's going to come to naught. It's going to fail, and it's going to fail in such a way that we won't even realize that it was happening. Come on, Lord. We didn't even realize. Nobody was affected by this thing. Nobody knew what hell was planning. Nobody knew that this thing had come to fruition, to full maturation, and was coming up on the earth. That we would have been completely blindsided, right? And I even think of like, it was like a terrorist attack. Okay. It was like a terrorist attack. We didn't see this thing coming, or we know that the enemy always has something planned, but nobody knew specifically that this thing was about to happen. And so, but God in his infinite wisdom destroyed it before it could even come to, it didn't happen. No weapon formed against you will prosper. So the weapon was formed, the weapon came to do what it came to do, and couldn't even get the job done. That's basically the word. I don't know what else to say about it other than God wins again. I don't know. So that's it.